Yeah. Now, who remember the movie Queen of the Dam? Queen of the Dam was actually depicted about a real vampire known as Akasha, who is referred to as the great mother of all vampires. Now, they say Akasha was considered one of the most beautiful vampires of all time. And even at one point when her skin was turned to stone, they say she still was beautiful and her stone skin would reflect the light of the moon. It's crazy. So she had a dark, beautiful black eyes mixed with a little hazel. She also had a strong cheekbone as well. They said she had a nice curvy body and shaped like a beautiful goddess. And they say her hair will always be braided in an Egyptian style. Very feminine with a nice pitched voice. She was really beautiful. And they say she was from a city called Europe, which is the modern day Iraq, you heard me? Now they say Akasha was born over 6,000 years ago. And she was born in the ancient times, way before the first pharaoh built the first pyramids, you heard me? And at a young age, she married a man named Enku. And Enku at this time was considered the king of Kemet, you heard me? Which will later in turn we call Egypt today. Now Akasha and her husband Enku wanted her people to turn away from cannibalism and start eating grains and farms and shit, and fruits and vegetables to become really immortal. Now Akasha at the time became a beloved ruler for turning her people away from violence into peace. Now this when she started getting into the dark magics and the black roots. She invited these twin witches named Mahakaret and Mekeret, and she used the twin sisters to communicate with the spirits. Now the twin sisters refused to help her, so she sent soldiers to where they was at the village they was, to kidnap them and kill them. But when she arrived over there, the soldiers told them that they was doing a funeral ritual, but they was consuming the brain and the heart of her mama. So the soldiers killed everybody and brought the twins back to Kemet, you heard me? So the twins was arrested basically for cannibalism. So they was held court, and she told them the only way to get out of the court is to help her with the spirits, you heard me? So the twin witch sisters refused to help Akasha. So they summoned a spirit to get revenge on Akasha. Now Akasha humiliates them in front of court. I ain't gonna say what she did, but she humiliates the twin witch sisters in front of the whole court. Then send the witch sisters back to the village where they killed and destroyed everybody. But the spirit that the twin sisters summoned still remains in the castle where they at, you heard me? The spirit starts to torture Akasha and Enku the whole night, every day throughout the night. It was throwing objects all throughout the rooms. It was tripping them. It was doing all type of things to them, and it made them start going crazy, you heard me? So a couple noble people snuck into the palace, and they started stabbing her and Enku. So as they were stabbing her and Enku, the spirit of Mil jumped inside them. They combined its spirit with their spirit, and it made him a vampire. That's how she became the first vampire. Now, as Enku was dying, Akasha saved him by helping him with the blood that she had. So he started drinking her blood, and he became the first vampire as a man. So they both hit the Layad and went found everybody that tried to do an assassination attempt on them and slaughtered them. So Akasha and Enku realized that they immortal with superhuman strength, but they can't be exposed to direct sunlight, you heard me? They also can't have intercourse, and they always got a thirst for blood, you heard me? So she sent one of her friends to go find the twin sisters to explain what happened to them. Now the twin witches explained to her that the spirit is too large to be contained in a singular body, and that the spirit and the bloodlust would be more diluted as they start to make every human being into vampires.